With spring training finally coming to an end here in Dodger Stadium, fans and media across Los Angeles are wondering what to expect from the Dodgers in 2009. However, many Waves fans are concerned about the future of the athletic department due to the fact that the university has called athletic director John Watson to cut 10% of his spending budget for the upcoming years. The Malibu Little League isn't just another sports establishment, but has been a staple of the Malibu community for over 50 years. But his involvement in high school sports goes far beyond the campus of Malibu High School. He also works for Los Angeles Daily News, where he reports on prep sports with both boys and girls basketball. So Oaks Christian captures the victory and adds another notch on their winning streak. For Newswaves, this is John Collett reporting. And while yesterday marked the official start of the 162-game marathon known as the Major League Baseball season, I had the opportunity to travel over to Dodger Stadium to find out what to expect from our hometown Dodgers in 2009. The Los Angeles sports scene has spent most of its time in the Staples Center as of late, but after a 4-month off-season, Dodger Stadium and the rest of Dodgertown are finally welcoming home the defending National League West Division champions for the start of the 2009 season. With spring training finally coming to an end here in Dodger Stadium, fans and media across Los Angeles are wondering what to expect from the Dodgers in 2009.
But it's getting a little bit better than when we came to spring training. I was like a lot of other people as far as doubting how good we can be, but I'm feeling pretty good about it.
One reason Joe Torre and the rest of the Dodger faithful are feeling good about the upcoming season is the return of comical slugger Manny Ramirez.
Everywhere I went in the off season, what about Manny? What about Manny? Even people that didn't know anything about baseball want to know about Manny.
He makes the clubhouse awesome. You know, he has so much fun, and it kind of loosens everybody up.
Even with a dominant offensive lineup intact, questions still remain about the pitching for this year after the Dodgers lost all-stars Brad Penny and Derek Lowe to free agency.
D'Lo is so consistent. He was out there every day, never got hurt, anything like that. And with Penny, he's just a power arm. And so I think we're just trying to pick up the pieces as a starting rotation itself, not just one individual guy.
These looming questions will soon be answered as the Dodgers make their home opener against longtime division rival, the San Francisco Giants. For Newswaves, this is John Collett. It's become a family tradition, and for Tom and Alex Barr, a Saturday night Waves volleyball match is something they're sure not to miss.
I like Waves volleyball. I've been a fan for like 2 years now, and I come to a lot of their games.
He's very knowledgeable, so we can sit and talk on a pretty horizontal level about just any sport.
Whether it's in Firestone Fieldhouse or here at Eddie D. Field, members of the community, families, and students have all found a common ground, that is Pepperdine athletics. However, many Waves fans are concerned about the future of the athletic department due to the fact that the university has called athletic director John Watson to cut 10% of his spending budget for the upcoming years due to the economy's effects on the university.
We had to cut about $850,000 from our operating budget. And in doing so, that's a pretty significant hit when you're talking about $7 million in operations.
So Watson took action and cut 2 of the 5 sports not required by the West Coast Conference. This tactic salvaged the nationally competitive men's volleyball team and also kept Pepperdine at the Division I level.
You know, to stay in Division I, there are no sports to cut. So, and we plan to play Division I. So other sports are unlikely to be impacted.
Although the effects of these budget cuts remain uncertain, Waves fans do have a guarantee that their favorite teams will continue to compete at the highest national level.
Because our teams have been able to compete at the national level, and I don't want to diminish that opportunity. I want them to continue to be highly ranked and highly successful.
Even with the changes that have come, fans like Tom and Alex Barr have and continue to stay true to the sport and team that has helped bond them together. For Newswaves, this is John Collett. In his second year as head coach at Malibu High School, Jack Pollen has tasted the thrills and agony that come from the sport of basketball. Yet his love for the game has always stayed constant.
Just basketball was the sport that stuck. Baseball took too long, soccer was too boring, football was too much equipment and too much stuff going on.
Here in the gymnasium of Malibu High School is where Coach Jack Pollen does the majority of his work. But his involvement in high school sports goes far beyond the campus of Malibu High School. He also works for Los Angeles Daily News, where he reports on prep sports with both boys and girls basketball. Jumping over to Northern Hollywood at the School of Harvard-Westlake, it's no surprise amongst this crowd of fans to find Jack Pollen mixed in and working for the Los Angeles Daily News.
Going out, covering a game, keeping stats, and writing like 2 or 3 paragraph little stories, synopsis of the game. And fell in love with that because 1, I love sports, and 2, I loved being able to tell a story of what was going on and inform people.
The responsibilities of being a coach and a writer consume much of Pollen's time. However, his top priority is always his family and their recent addition, Jaden Pollen.
It hasn't really even sunk in yet that I'm a dad. It's been 3 weeks and it's still sinking in. When I have some bad times here at practice, or hey, I didn't write the greatest story or something, I get in the car and I drive home, and I know that I have this little girl that doesn't care about that, doesn't care, what went on, and loves Dad unconditionally.
To say Pollen is busy is certainly an understatement, but each of his responsibilities is not out of choice, but rather comes from love and desire. For Newswaves, this is John Collett.